This is the CBS Evening News with Walter Cronkite.
Good evening. This is CBN Evening News Report. 2 days ago, the Axolsoft company was under the investigation. From what we had found, the Axol's Farm Cartoons episode 13th, called A New Friend in Neighborhood, was containing explicit content that contained following: gruesome descriptions of car crash accidents, disturbing and twisted content, flashing images, to name a few. The Axolsoft company, which is responsible for Axol's Farm series, will be prosecuted for antitrust case. Locals are against airing of the 13th episode of Axol's Farm. As well, they demand the refunds for their broken Ultravision 16 personal computer RAM memory units. This is what they say.
I recently purchased this PVVHS tape from the Axol's Farm series, and nothing seemed suspicious with this tape. Everything looked normal at first glance. Then I went to work, knowing that my son wouldn't be bored while I went to work. After that day, my son started behaving strangely. He had violent nightmares about car accidents at night. He even started to be afraid of cars. At first, I thought it was just a one-time thing. Maybe someone from his school told him some crap about driving, or maybe my son did it because he wanted to skip school. But after he told me, "Dad, don't throw me out the car window by accident," my heart skipped a beat. I have never heard these words in my life. I have never drank alcohol, and I have always been careful when driving. So over the weekend, I saw this PVVHS tape for myself, and what I found absolutely horrified me. The recording had heavily distorted versions of the characters. The voices of some of the characters were unnatural, and their bodies were twisted at some random times as if they were made of some kind of rubber. Not only did the characters grimace at random moments, but the footage also featured a brutal accident where a child fell through a window, leaving pieces of the glass he collided with embedded in his skin. The thought of that description made me want to vomit. It's ridiculous how Axolsoft allows itself to introduce such content into their children's cartoons. Not only that, our players started going crazy and showing horrifying images even when I turned on the decoder mode. Later, my Ultravision 16 VHS tape player, after all this action, had a problem with the RAM chips literally burning out after the sound unit started to fail. Axolsoft should be punished for something like this, because in my opinion it is ridiculous how such a company can afford to broadcast inappropriate content in their children's cartoons, and the fact that they do not refund money for any defects.
The Axolsoft company stated that they will recall all of PVVHS tapes of 13th episode of Axol's Farm. Many of the VHS rental chains, such as Blockbuster, had removed all PVVHS tapes of that episode. Federal Communications Commission had stated that the Axolsoft's Alex's Farm episode 13th was inappropriate for younger audiences. Therefore, it should be banned from public emission. For more news about Axolsoft's antitrust case, stay tuned to CBS Morning News Reports and Evening News Reports.